Hey Frag fam, Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. So today I got tagged in a tag video. I was tagged by Michael from the Fragrance Wardrobe. He's an awesome smaller YouTube channel. He likes to talk about a lot of unknown fragrances from some brands that I've never even heard of. So really great content. Be sure to go check out his channel again in the link in the description. I'm also gonna get my tags out of the way. So I'm gonna be tagging Justin from the channel Justin Copeland, my man, Stay Fresh Productions. I'm also gonna be tagging Aussie fragrances. So you two gentlemen, you guys are both tagged. I hope you guys are able to make this video and I hope you have fun with it. So the topic of the video is my 3 best blind buys ever, which is pretty tough because I blind bought probably well over 100 fragrances. Honestly, probably closer to 200 of my fragrances have been blind buys. So I had to choose from a lot of fragrances, and obviously I like all the ones I've kept. So this was a hard video for me to choose just as far as the fragrances goes, but I think I got my top 3. So with that out of the way, I hope you guys are interested in hearing about that. If you are, please stick around. But first, let's roll that intro. All right, welcome back. So like I said, tag video, the topic is my top 3 blind buys ever. So really hard list for me to make, but like I said, I think I got the 3 that are my top 3. So we're gonna jump straight into it at the number 3 spot. And starting us off at the number 3 spot, this one is from Tom Ford. This is Beau de Jour. And I should mention that this is not a rank list. This is just my top 3, so this is going in any order. This is the fragrance right here that really got me into barbershop fragrances, which if you've been around my channel for a while, you know that fougères or barbershop fragrances are like one of my favorite genres in fragrance. I absolutely love them. This is one of the best, actually. In my humble opinion, this is the best fougere slash barbershop fragrance I have ever tried. And like I said, this is really the one that got me into collecting barbershop fragrances, and now I have a ton of them. Can all be traced back to this fragrance. This is the reason. This one is super lavender dominant. So there's lavender extract as well as lavender. So they have 2 different types of lavender, at least as far as how it's synthesized in this fragrance. There's also rosemary in here, oak moss, mint, and then some basil as well. So it's very green and herbaceous. It's not a super fresh and light fougere fragrance. It is definitely like wearable in the warmer weather, but this one is so dense and green that I would say in like the extreme high heat, this one would almost be too much. Great versatile fragrance. You can wear this in most situations. Definitely has an elegance to it though. Now they actually don't have tonka bean in this fragrance, which means it's technically not your like standard fougere. Usually for a barbershop fragrance, you need to have the lavender, you need to have oak moss, and then tonka bean, and then occasionally sometimes they will put in cardamom in place of the tonka bean, but usually you need those 3 notes for it to be classified as a traditional fougere. So like I said, this one is missing that tonka bean slash cardamom note. They do have amber in here, which kind of takes its place. You know, this resin, it's on the sweeter powdery side, although this is definitely not like an amber forward fragrance. This one is definitely lavender front and center, and then you get all those green herbs in the back. So like I said, the rosemary here, it's very spicy and green. The basil here, kind of same story. The oak moss, you know, just gives it that backbone that every fougere has. This thing is really, really nice, very, very classy. If you guys are looking for an awesome fougere or barbershop fragrance, one that maybe will get you into the genre, this is the one that did it for me, so this could be the one that would do it for you. A fantastic fragrance from Tom Ford. I have this one here from the Signature line. I used to own the Private Blend. I detected no difference in the 2, so I would just save your money if you're looking at getting one or the other. Just get the Signature line one. This is a lot cheaper and it's the same exact fragrance. So again, at the number 3 spot, that was Tom Ford's Beau de Jour. So next at the number 2 spot, this is probably my 2nd favorite fragrance from this house. However, this is easily my most worn. This one is from Roja Parfums, and this is a Midsummer Dream. And Enigma or Creation E is definitely my favorite. However, that one does have an elegance to it, and it is fairly sweet, so that's a hard daily driver fragrance. This is honestly one of the most wearable fragrances from Roja Parfums, not to mention the most versatile. So it is classy, has this elegance to it, of course, just like all Roja fragrances, so you can definitely dress this thing up. However, this is something that, at least for me, I do feel comfortable wearing in normal clothing. So a t-shirt, you know, shorts, jeans, whatever, I can pull this one off and I really like it. And then not to mention just, you know, here's how much I've used of it. So for a collection my size, this is quite a bit of juice that I've used from a single fragrance, so that really shows how much I like this thing. Like I said, this is probably my favorite blind buy from this house, just because Enigma I did get a sample of beforehand, so as far as the best fragrance from the house that I didn't try until I bought the full bottle, that's this one. And I actually did a full review on this fragrance. Be sure to go check that out. I'll link that with an iCard above. This is a chypre made very modern, so there's nothing old about this fragrance at all. Honestly, it does kind of have this youthful playfulness to it because it is pretty sweet. So of course, it does have the citruses. You get grapefruit and then bergamot here. You do get cedar and then oak moss, so it is technically a chypre. However, they've put elemi in here. There's benzoin, there's vanilla, there is some rose, orris root as well. So this thing does have the sweet side to it. It is a little bit woody, but it's just really, really nice. This to me, even though it's called a midsummer dream, this smells like a walk through the woods in the springtime on a nice warm day. And that's just like where my mind goes when I smell this. So it's very uplifting, it smells amazing, very versatile. One of the best fragrances from the house, which is really cool because this is actually one of the more affordable fragrances from Roja. I think retail, it's like $380, but if you get it on the gray market, you can probably pay under $300 just to get a basically full bottle, maybe a little bit used. So my favorite blind buy from the house, that is Roja Parfums, a Midsummer Dream. And finally, at the #1 spot, this is hands down my favorite fragrance from this house. I included this in multiple lists, including my top 10 designers for life, or basically if I had to throw away all of my fragrances and only keep 10 designer fragrances, this would be in there. And this is honestly in my top 5 most likely. Like, this is an amazing fragrance to me. I have a backup bottle of this because this stuff is so good to me. This one is from Christian Dior. This is Dior Homme Parfum. Yeah, I'll never be able to say enough good things about this fragrance. This is so, so good. If you've tried Dior Homme, and I'm sure you've heard this even if you haven't tried it, we all know it's known for this kind of waxy, lipsticky iris note. And in this fragrance in particular, they've done it to the max. This is the most iris heavy version of Dior Homme, which I love iris and I love that waxy nature that it has sometimes, which is why I really, really like this fragrance. Not to mention that this has a kind of dirty leather, which I really dig, like a heavy leather note. It's not on like the animalic or fecal side, but it's not like a suede, really clean new car leather either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. There's even oud in here. Kind of the same story where it's not on like that fecal animalic side. It's like this dark woody oud. There's a little bit of this Italian orange note that you get especially upon first spray, which adds this sweetness to it. I think without that orange, this thing would be a little bit too on that sharp and dark side. So that orange kind of offsets things, provides this light sweetness. Like I said, you get a little bit of rose in here as well, which works perfectly. It's not a powdery rose. It is a little bit on that jammy side, but it's not feminine smelling at all. This is an ultra masculine fragrance. Dior Homme is kind of known for having this like metrosexual feel, and even Dior Homme Intense is kind of the same way. This is definitely, at least in my opinion, a masculine fragrance through and through. I really like this stuff a lot, and it is so, so potent. A couple of sprays of this, it's gonna last over half a day easily. And that's why I haven't taken much out of this bottle yet. You can see here, I've used probably about 3 or 4 milliliters. That's honestly like, this thing's gonna last me so long, I probably won't even ever need my backup bottle, but I just have it just for safekeeping and, you know, just to keep my mind in a good place, I guess, just so I know that I'm never gonna run out of this juice because I love it so, so much. And of course, like I said, it's in this list because this was a blind buy. Never sampled it, I just got it on Facebook, lightly used, and I absolutely loved it. Got a backup bottle basically immediately. So again, at the #1 spot, that is Dior Homme Parfum. Well, there you guys go. Those were my top 3 blind buy fragrances in my entire collection. Be sure to let me know what your best blind buys are in your collection. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write that comment or maybe just let me know any other thoughts as well as maybe some new video ideas or topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you have not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.